It says here he will call his 3,000th game tonight when the Leafs take on the Detroit Red Wings.
And you're demanding a recount.
Well, I just would like to know who's kept track of all these games. That's all I want to know. Joe Bowen, the radio voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs for about 2 or 3 centuries, joins us on the...
Thank you.
Would have to be at least that long for 3,000. Have you? What do you have? Like, do you have? Are you like a prison inmate who, like, puts a 1 on the wall every day?
Yes, I'm counting down to the Stanley Cup final that I'm calling, and I have gotten to 3,000 games. Thank you very much, Robert.
Yeah,
this is sort of like Shawshank Redemption.
Well, I know
I haven't dug a hole in the wall yet, but we're working on it.
Well, I'm asking because it is factual that I believe you hold the world record for most games called, none of which have resulted in a Stanley Cup championship.
And therefore, we believe you're partly to blame, Joe.
Partly.
I think
Mostly.
you're fully to blame, but that's besides the point. Anyway.
Do you remember
the media? Come on, you guys, you know that.
Do you remember Game 1?
Yes, I do. It was in Chicago at the great old stadium. I was nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof, and got in a cab in Chicago with the biggest, burliest, meanest-looking cab driver I'd ever seen in my life, and we started down West Madison Street, and I thought, I'm going for my last ride before I even get to do one game. And then the mausoleum came out of the horizon, and I actually got to the venerable stadium, which is still my favorite all-time rink to ever do a hockey game in.
So most guys, when they start doing major professional sports, play-by-play, get called up because of an emergency, a short-term thing, a one-off, those kinds of things. Was that the case for you, or did you get hired and this was like the first game of the season?
No. As you know, Bob, as well as I, Len Bramson was the head of Telemedia Sports.
Right.
And Ron Hewitt, who had been doing the games, decided wisely, I guess, because he's made a hell of a lot more money than you and I in this industry, to go into radio sales.
Yeah.
And so he did, and that was in April of the previous year. And so there was, send in your tapes. And Alan Davis, another good friend of ours who started up the All Sports radio station that you now are bilking for the amount of money that you do on a regular basis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the thing about Joe, very accurate in his reporting.
Well, I've been around long enough, Damien, that I know where the skeletons are buried. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Well, anyway, Alan told me to send my tape in. And lo and behold, in September, with just a couple of weeks to go before the regular season, they hadn't made a decision. And Len Bramson phoned me and asked me if I would come down and do the exhibition game with the Oilers on the Saturday. This was the Thursday, and my mortgage for a house had gone through on the Wednesday at 22 points on the dollar.
Oh, God, those days.
Those days.
Yes, those days. And I thought it was Alan Davis yanking my chain, and I said some very rude, vulgar things to Mr. Bramson before he convinced me that it wasn't Alan Davis. And 5 minutes after our conversation, he phoned me back and said, we don't need the audition. Here's the job. And my first game, I didn't do an exhibition game. My first game was the Chicago Stadium.
Jeez, that's pretty good. Were they, by the way, and tell me if I'm getting you in any trouble here, but what the hell? No one else is listening right now.
So good.
Did you get the out-of-town scores, your first game at Chicago Stadium?
No, that was later. That wasn't until Uncle Wilbur arrived on the scene and the attendant up in the booth, Jimmy, had a out-of-town scoreboard. Well, this was before computers, so a bottle in the...
in case the boys were thirsty.
Well, exactly. You never know. You might wet your thirst. You might be a little thirsty and have to wet your whistle a bit, and the out-of-town scoreboard was born there.
That's what they called it. Now, did you adopt a style before you did this, or were you just Joe Bowen?
No, I think, Damien, if anybody is going to do this, you can't try to mimic anybody or copy anybody. I think you just have to be yourself, and that's how I did it when I started in Sudbury. And you're your own worst critic, so you realize what works, what doesn't work, and you kind of create your own style and everything. And I did that through riding the buses with the OHL Sudbury Wolves, and then 3 years of putting up with John Brophy and company out in Halifax. And lo and behold, we ended up here 35 years ago.
Who was your first color commentator?
Doug McKay.
Oh.
Did the game in Chicago. He and Gary Monahan split the games, but we didn't, in those days, carry a color man to most of the road games.
Oh, right.
So I picked up people like Dennis Hull, Milt Schmidt, Babe Pratt, Larry Mann.
Out in L.A.?
Yeah, of course. He was the only guy that knew what a puck was, so we had to have him on, and it was great because you got to meet a lot of different people, as well as getting a different perspective on the team that you were out there covering and playing against. So it was a lot of fun.
Now, you and I spent several years working with Wilbur.
Yeah, what a chore that was.
Heavy lifting?
Heavy lifting.
Heavy lifting.
Well, we love Billy.
We sure do.
And hello.
He's one of my favorite people.
Hello, Wilbur. Sorry about that.
Hello, Wilbur. If you're out there, I don't know if he's in Florida or if he's...
No, he's in Florida. I talked to him today.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How's he doing? All right.
Good. Yep.
So you got a Wilbur story?
Well, my favorite Wilbur story is Wilbur has a bit of a myopic condition even in those days.
Yeah.
And in the Chicago Stadium, we're back there, and there's 97 stairs that you had to climb to get up to our broadcast position, unlike where Damien would have worked there, which was down at the end of the rink.
In the firing line. Down at the end, yeah.
Yes, before they thought putting screens up was a great idea. So after a game, right at the top of those stairs was a concession stand, and there was no escalators or elevators. So everything in that concession stand, beer, popcorn, hot dogs, everything had to be carried up on some poor lad's shoulder.
God.
And right across from it was the men's washroom, where more was flowing out at the end of the game that was flowing in.
It was quite a place.
It was quite a spot. And Wilbur hit as we got to the top of the stairs this one night. He had a brand new mohair, beautiful winter jacket he was very proud of that he had just bought. And somebody had dropped a mason jar of relish on the top step.
Oh, no.
Wilbur didn't see it.
Uh-oh.
And it was, off he went.
Oh, boy.
Stairs down to the landing.
Oh, my God.
No.
I thought he was dead. I was really concerned. And then I got this. And as he gets up with his locker mists, as he used to call the hair follicles were covered in relish, and his jacket was ripped to hell.
Oh, no.
Some of the glass from it wasn't a pretty sight. And I said to him, Wilbur, if you had just hit the wall, you could have louged all the way down the 97 stairs.
So once you knew he was alive, you could start laughing.
Yes, I could. And he was a big, strong guy, and I knew he would recover. But when we got to the bottom of the stairs, that's where all of the parents and girlfriends and people who were coming to see some of the players. And there was Les and Elma Clark. What happened to you, Wilbur?
So 82 was your first year?
Yep.
So you get this great opportunity. You're pumped. It's fantastic. And then basically you embark on a pretty bleak decade of Maple Leaf hockey. Did that make it harder, or were you just so darn excited by the job that didn't matter?
I think by then, Damien, I would have paid to do it. And,
sure.
And it was great. And there were some memorable nights. And the best part about it, of course, was the Norris division.
Mm-hmm.
Because as bad as they were,
he was entertaining.
They were in the playoff hunt right to the end, and sometimes snuck in anyway. So,
they got in with 54 points the one year, Joseph.
Exactly. So the only thing that was worse than them was usually the Detroit Red Wings. So having said that, at least you were in it for most of the season, and when you did get in it, you thought, well, who knows, maybe there's a chance. But, in the bottom of your heart and the back of your mind, you knew that with Harold running it, there was no chance. And that didn't change until Cliff and company and Steve Stavro and company arrived on the scene in the early 90s, and then embarked on the magical runs of those two seasons back to back.
Now, I was just going to say, if to contrast the 80s, there was Game 7 in May 1993, and
that was that Gretzky guy, huh?
You had to think, oh my goodness, they win this. I'm calling the Stanley Cup final
with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes, yeah, we were cheated out of a great rivalry and a renewed rivalry, but those two teams playing, but it didn't happen. And the next year they changed the rule, the Gretzky rule, that you didn't get kicked out if you drew blood. You only got kicked out if you did it intentionally. So that was unfortunate, and it's part of Leaf lore, and it's certainly part of my broadcasting history. And the other, when I walked out to the rink that night, one of the linesmen who remained nameless told me that the puck had hit Doug Gilmour, and I said to him, I missed it. Did he dive on it?
Way to go.
Yeah, that didn't go over as well as I'd hoped either. But anyway.
Is there a game? I know this is such a cliche question, but is there a game that jumps out at you? Was it that one?
Well, you know what? And I think the Nicky Borshevsky goal is probably the one.
Yep.
And the reason being for that, and Damien hit it on the head, there was no chance in the 80s.
Yeah.
But
that was Detroit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was in Detroit. And,
Yeah.
and the nice thing about the call was they had switched ends, and where the broadcast position for radio is closer to that end of the rink, which is normally the Leafs' home end, but it was the Detroit end in the overtime. And if you're going to get a call like that, you want to be able to get it right. And I knew Nicky had just touched it ever so slightly, and Bob Rouse shot it. And a lot of people thought it was Bob Rouse's goal, but I knew that Nicky Borshevsky had touched it. And when you get a call like that, you want to get it right. And I felt so bad for the guys in Chicago who had gone as long as the Leafs, if not longer, without winning a Stanley Cup, to win the Stanley Cup, and no one knew the puck was in the net.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Patrick Kane goal.
Yes, and it was the delay. So there's no great call of it, because no one knew it was in the net till he started celebrating after he'd circled the goal and jumped into the glass after about about 3 seconds after the fact.
Yeah. Is there one player that you enjoyed watching more than any other? One Leaf.
Well, I don't know. I guess Matt Sundin, because he was here the longest and certainly provided some of the greatest moments. And the fact that, he was derided in this city a lot because of he wasn't Canadian or whatever it was. He wasn't a leader, and yet he was all of that and more. And just an amazing, amazing hockey player, and his statistical stuff speaks for itself.
Now, you are a target in hockey, yes?
I still are. I played today, and I was terrible.
Were you? So nothing has changed.
Yeah.
There was a scout who came out, but it was a kid selling apples who got lost.
Actually, I tell you, I've played hockey against Bonesy. He holds his own. He knows what he's doing in there.
Well,
all right. So
and he wears really big.
I still have the big equipment.
I was going to say he wears really big equipment now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Favorite goaltender?
Oh, no question, John Bauer.
Really, still, huh?
And I never got to call one of his games.
No.
He's been my idol since I was a kid, and that idol worship has grown exponentially ever since I got to meet him personally, and all of the following years that I've been able to call him a good friend.
How do you describe John Bauer's style? I know you did a lot of those look-back games on Leafs Network, Leafs TV, where they go back to the 60s games.
It was old time stand up, because your face wasn't protected, and if you got down low, you were liable to wear the thing. And but I mean, fearless, absolutely fearless. It was interesting in contrasting and knowing Glenn Hall too, as well as I do. Even in practice, if a puck went in the net, Johnny scooped that thing out there and got it out in a hurry. The puck could go in the net in the Chicago Stadium behind Glenn Hall. He'd start cleaning his crease, and there'd be 5 people in there digging around in the old mesh trying to find the puck. And he said, I didn't put it in there. You guys get it.
Well, congratulations, pal.
Thank you very much, Robert.
You figure you got a chance to call some playoff hockey this year, Joe?
Maybe.
Well, if 3018 gets us in, we'll be pretty happy about that. But you know what?
You think they'll make it?
It's there. It's there for the taking. They have to improve in areas like protecting leads and playing with the lead. But you know what? They've got as good a chance as 3 or 4 other teams, so why not?
Well, it must be nice after 3,000 games, too, to have a a new star like this Matthews kid and maybe this Marner kid. I mean, it's been a while since they've had young players like that, isn't it?
It is, and let me tell you why this young man is going to be very special, and maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. He sent me an email today to congratulate me, along with his parents.
Wow.
And
this is Auston?
Yep. And I thought, you know what, that's a mature, classy move that is probably going to warrant at some point in time, if not next year, a letter on that young man's sweater.
Yeah.
Bonesy, we're proud of you. We're happy for you. Enjoy the moment, and have a good call tonight, pal.
Okay. Thanks very much, Robert. Damien, thank you.
Congrats, Bonesy.
Joe Bowen, the radio voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he'll call his 3,000th, allegedly call his 3,000th game tonight.
No, he's had a lot of practice, so this one he should get right.
Well, he might, but I'm still not convinced that it's actually 3,000. It's like approximately 3,000. It's like, well, let's see. Now, we've been this many years, blah, 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 blah.
You know what it sounds like? It does sound like an Alan Davis number. Our buddy. Oh, 3,000 for sure.